for Dorisburg. This is Kevin Harlan, and we're pleased to have on the sidelines tonight David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Kyrie Irving rediscovered his maternal lineage with the White Mountain family of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. He lost his mother at a young age, and by connecting with her roots, he's found a piece of himself. The tribe gave him the name Little Mountain. Kevin?
Great story, DA. Thank you. And here's the upcoming schedule for the Heat. On Monday, they'll face off against Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers. Then on Wednesday, they'll face off against Paul George and the Los Angeles Clippers. So here's Miami's starting group. We've got Chauncey Billups. Julius Randle is out there with Abdul-Jabbar. Then there's C.J. McCollum. And it's Havlicek in at the 3 spot. And looking at the Nets, D'Angelo Russell out there with Pippen. Then it's Wiggins. Then it's Bellamy. And it's Mutombo in at the 5 spot. Doris, there is nothing like opening night in the NBA. Every fan base just teeming with optimism for the upcoming season.
I think all of us are just so thrilled to have NBA basketball back. There's no losses in the losing column. Everybody's happy. Let's tip it off and go.
And guys have that little step, and these first weeks of the season are always exciting.
Oh, no doubt. Everybody's bursting with enthusiasm. Players are fresh.
Now here's Randall. McCollum outside. Randall kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. And here's Russell. Outside Pippen. Passes to Wiggins. Just 5 to shoot. Havlicek with the rebound. Outside Billups. McCollum outside. With some arc, and the rejection by Pippen.
And it's always been about the effort defensively for Pippen, known as a stopper and a fantastic shot blocker to boot.
Now here's Pippen. Up top, Bellamy. He is guarded by McCollum. Now Bellamy. Over McCollum. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the rebound. He'd have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. McCollum deciding where to go with it. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum.
And you just look at the grace, the agility, versatility that Jabbar brings to the center position. Can beat you in so many ways.
Bellamy with the bucket.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rag. And where's the help defensively?
To me, Greg, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Here's McCollum following the bucket by the Nets. And the rejection by Pippen. And he gets it back. Three-pointer. And the basket by McCollum.
And that's an element McCollum brings to their offense, the ability to drain the outside shot. It stretches the defense and makes them keep bodies on the perimeter.
Now here's Pippen. Outside Russell. Pass to Bellamy. Over Randall. They get it back.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just 1 pass more?
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Here's Wiggins, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Well, Andrew Wiggins is a talented prospect. On the offensive end, he is as scary as it gets.
And as talented as Andrew Wiggins is, There are games, Doris, when he can fade into the background, and his team needs him the most.
Yes, and the questions become, is he passive? Is he disengaged on the offensive end? And that, I think, can be frustrating because people around the league will tell you that this young man is as talented and as skilled as any player in the league. It's really, for Andrew Wiggins, about finding a measure of consistency.
And the ferocity on display defensively here from Mutombo. Just an incredible shot blocker. Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Russell against Havlicek. Russell passes to Bellamy. Here's Mutombo, and it's Dikembe with the jam.
Impossible to stop the putback when he's got that kind of position.
Agreed, Greg. Let him get his hands on it inside and finish it off.
How about the activity level, the effort level? This team right now feeding off his energy.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And looking to stop this run and get back on track.
Really needs to settle his guys down right now and get them refocused.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Bowl, he's checked in for Mutombo. Randolph comes in for Bellamy. And it's Clark in for Wiggins. And then for Miami, Mo Wagner's checked in for Julius Randle. Satoransky comes in for McCollum. Young is subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Now, here is Russell. John Havlicek unable to get his shot to go. Russell. The rebound by Young.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Poked loose. 1:33 left in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
And checking out the numbers for Young. Last year, getting it done. He was around 19 points a game, 8 assists and 3 rebounds. And right now for him, it's about gaining experience and continuing to develop his game.
This is a man's game, and you've got to earn your minutes in this league. This guy, his time will come eventually.
Now, here's Bull. Pippen kicks to Randall. And the rejection by Abdul-Jabbar.
And beyond the obvious physical skills, Kareem just has a great understanding for the game. Times his move perfectly to get that shot.
Miami shooting their first free throw of the evening. That free throw good from Young.
And for the Nets, team dinners, you go to their practice facility, a beautiful rooftop space for team gatherings. Building chemistry is a focus for this franchise.
And that's not surprising, Greg, given that their front office is part of the San Antonio Spurs tree, so to speak. So staying connected as teammates, especially valuable in today's NBA. Love the culture here.
Now, here's Satoransky. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. Here's Pippen. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And guys, we talk all the time about making the extra pass. Clark there proving how important that concept is.
Here is Havlicek. Got it up. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. Tie game in Brooklyn. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
And why wouldn't they, Greg? You see their effectiveness in the open floor. Very difficult to slow down.
On the floor for Miami, Abdul-Jabbar is out there with Wagner. Then it's Trae Young. Then there's Havlicek. And it's Satoransky in at the 2-guard spot. Now, here is Young. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
Now, here's Randolph. After the miss from Trae Young. Lets it go with the three. Brooklyn with the rebound. Bulls got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight. Clark, the pass to Pippen. He gets that one. Pippen's got the lead up to 2 now for the Nets.
Yeah, Pippen using those long arms inside to get shots off. Feels like no one can guard him down low.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. He's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in L.A., many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Tumbo is checked in for Bull. Bellamy comes in for Zach Randolph. And Wiggins is subbed in for Scottie Pippen. Both free throws good from Havlicek. 2018 rookie class has been something to watch, Doris. Talent at the top, but also some terrific mid-round picks.
You know, no question, Landry Shamet is a guy who I think can be a clutch, big-time scorer who does not seem bowed by any moment, doesn't seem to be affected by pressure. Mitchell Robinson had one of the great shot-blocking seasons in New York Knicks history. I know the team didn't have success, but as a second-round guy, Mitchell Robinson could have an awfully long career.
And Mutombo, a defensive force, a long, intelligent player who plays well on both ends of the floor.
The Nets have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Mutombo. McCollum's checked in for Young. That one misses. Miami trailing. Phillips with the ball. He's still scoreless so far in this one. That one goes. Count it.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
Wiggins with the bounce pass. Here's Clark, covered by Havlicek. Clark kicks to Wiggins. Phillips against Russell. Now the pass to Clark. Shoots over Havlicek, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Looking now at the numbers for Wiggins, how he performed last season. Last season, he averaged 18 points per, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. You know, you look at the numbers and you think that this is great, but we know that he's capable of even bigger production.
You know, the numbers look okay, but the eye test tells us unequivocally he is capable of more. That is the sign of a star right there.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
And you talk about shot makers, C.J. McCollum, one of the best in the game. From mid-range, you could argue he's the best, flat out. And looking now at some numbers here for Randall. Great showing for him last season. 17th in scoring, and he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league. Never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
Yeah, and like you said, one of the better scorers in the NBA last season. A tireless worker on the offensive end. He could be even better this season. Now, here is Russell. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Wizards in Washington.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
Now here's Phillips. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Here's Randall. Buries it down low. Randall's got his first points in this one. And you look at the shot chart for McCollum. He's a threat from everywhere.
Able to hit off the bounce, pulling up. At his height, he's got to be creative, making space for his shot.
Now here's Wiggins. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Wizards in Washington, and Chauncey Billups gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Mutombo, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Clearly a foul.
The Nets have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
At the line for 2.
He's off on the first. So he comes up empty, missing both.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Mutombo against Billups. Back to Randall. 5 on the clock. Over Russell. Randall no good. Nets trail by 5. Outside Russell. Wiggins outside. Back to Russell. To end the cold streak. Here's Bellamy. Count it. Good. Bellamy's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
And stolen by Billups. He kicks it to Havlicek. Back to Billups. Rebounded by Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo's got 4 rebounds in this game. Wiggins against McCollum. Fires, high post. And it's Wiggins missing. The Heat leading by 3. Randall kicks to Billups. And it's sent back by Mutombo. Clark the pass to Wiggins. They get it again, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And it's on John Havlicek. Brooklyn shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Yeah, last year, collectively, only 74% from the line.
Zach Randolph's checked in for Brooklyn. Pippen comes in for Russell, then for the Heat. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Wagner. Satoransky comes in for Havlicek. Young is subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Now here's McCollum. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Pippen.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Bellamy with it, and Abdul-Jabbar picks him up defensively. A floater and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Trae Young.
And you see it right there. Wiggins excels at drawing contact, getting to the free throw line, his specialty.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Well, with the first overall pick in 2014, Wiggins has some pressure on him, but he has steadily improved his play.
That one drops. He ties it up. Young taking his time here. From deep. Second chance shot. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And a chance here to just double check the ruling on the floor. I wasn't sure if he got it off in time or not, so I appreciate the second look as well.
And the call is going to be overturned. The second look shows that he did, in fact, beat the clock.
Yeah, they're glad they're going to get those points. It wasn't too long ago that they wouldn't even have looked at it on the monitor, but replays here, and it's here to stay for situations just like that one.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Heat lead by 2. Live from Brooklyn, New York, you're watching 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. If you look at the second quarter scoring, they had a small edge. They really hung tough as we got close to halftime. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, it's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared.
And that should do it with this.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. C.J. McCollum really making a difference here.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
Pippen is out there with D'Angelo Russell. And it's Mutombo. Then it's Bellamy. And it's Wiggins in at small forward. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Here's Billups. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Billups has got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Heat. Doris, you've said this often. It is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible to check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
To the middle, here's Russell. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Russell's got the game tied up here for the Nets. And Miami shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Pass to McCollum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A rebound by the Nets.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
Right side, Russell. Passes it to Mutombo. Over McCollum, and the basket by Mutombo.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
Now here's Billups. Teardrop shot, and it's sent back by Mutombo.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And it's Russell missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. checked in for Brooklyn. And Miami also making a switch. Mo Wagner's checked in for Randall. Here's Bowl. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Pippen. It's rebounded by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Abdul-Jabbar's got his 7th rebound here tonight. It's McCollum on the wing, guarded by Pippen. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. It's deflected. Got a piece of it. And here we go. Fast break. Wiggins has got it. Dishes it to Russell. Pass to Bellamy. Count that one. Bellamy's got the lead up to 2 now for the Nets.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the court.
McCollum up top, guarded by Pippen. Second chance effort. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. No good on that one. Nice D from Russell. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half.
Well, Andrew Wiggins, elite quickness, the power finish, that is beautiful.
The Heat trail by 4.
Boy, for all the talent Andrew Wiggins brings to the table, you wonder what his assessment of the 2018-19 season is. Obviously, he took a step back in terms of his production, and I think that had a lot to do with his lack of consistency with his shot. He's got a ton of talent. Let's see where it takes him.
Here's Pippen. Sinks that one from the post. And now a 6-point Brooklyn lead.
And they shot just over 30% in that first half. Not what they were looking for, obviously, but they're getting much better looks here since halftime and have brought that percentage up.
Now a timeout called by Miami. And with Wiggins, Doris, and his struggles last year, he seemed to be relying more on his outside shot.
You wonder if Wiggins feels the pressure of an NBA that now so heavily emphasizes that three-point shooting. But his strength to me is putting the ball on the deck, attacking the rim, and relentlessly going at defenders. He's got to get back to that.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Randolph comes in for Bellamy. And it's Clark in for Russell. It's blocked. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Young. Here are the top distributors from last season. These guys always seem to find the open man. The 4th spot held by Trae Young.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Here's Wiggins. That one's not going to go. And it's Miami the other way.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Havlicek outside. High, arcing shot. That's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. Here is Havlicek. Clock at 6. He dishes it to Abdul-Jabbar.
And the shooting percentage, it's taken a dip in this second half.
Misses from short range. Wiggins outside. There's 47 seconds left to play in the third. 9 feet out, and Scottie Pippen the bucket on the assist by Wiggins. Pippen's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You know, I've got to say, defensively, the effort simply hasn't been there this half. They've got to pick up their energy.
With the teardrop, Wiggins with the block.
Well, using every bit of that 7-foot wingspan, Wiggins airmailing it back.
Julius Randle's checked in for Miami. .32 seconds left in the third quarter. And there's the pass to Satoransky. 5 to shoot. Here's the floater. He takes it up and lays it in.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
And here's Wiggins. 6 points for him. Out to the right wing. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Well, to me, this is where Zach Randolph really hurt you, which is why the defense reacted the way it did.
First trip to the line for him here. No good on the second free throw. Now Young from deep three-point range, and so it's Brooklyn, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We'll take a quick break, and then... And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. The Heat trail by 7. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Randall out there with Havlicek. Then there's Thomas Satoransky. And it's Young. And it's Abdul-Jabbar. And at the pivot, manning the middle. Clark dishes to Pippen. Pass to Wiggins. 6 to shoot. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to go on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, the quickness to beat you inside, Wiggins possesses that in spades.
Free throw good, Wiggins. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And so Young will bring it up for the Miami Heat. 9-point game. They host the 76ers after this game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. On the wing, Havlicek. Puts one up from 19. Right through the cylinder that time. All net.
And guys, you got to know who you're guarding. You got to run the shooter off that sweet spot. And for Havlicek, that's anything in the mid-range area.
Young against Wiggins. Open for 3. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Not everything fell for them in that first half, and now it looks like they're beginning to hit their stride.
And Zach Randolph gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. The Nets making a switch here. Russell's checked in. Heat also with a sub. McCollum's checked in. We've gone about a minute and a half into the 4th quarter. And here's Young from the arc. Brooklyn with the rebound. Mutombo's got his 6th rebound on the night.
I'll tell you, no matter what he does, he can't find his rhythm, and you get the sense he's starting to press a little bit.
Wiggins outside. Over Young. Again, the Nets for 2. Of course, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people who were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment.
Wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
I remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
They need this, and it's good on the way in.
You know, fending off the defense well there. Young, solid at just being crafty enough in these types of situations.
And he lobs it up toward the rim, and slam dunk by Clark.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Now a timeout called by Miami.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Just feels like the basket is looking awfully small to them right now. They're having a hard time getting anything to fall.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Scottie Pippen.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Eric Spoelstra coaching the team during the break. He was begging us to step it up. He said, we've got to make the move now. And we're going to be out of time and out of luck. Give it everything you've got out there. Kevin?
And here are the Nets. They're on a 12-4 run right now. On the wing, Wiggins. The dish to Mutombo. Back to Wiggins. And it's Miami with the rebound. Abdul-Jabbar's got rebound number 12 here already in the game.
I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
Here is Russell. In the corner, it's Wiggins. Just 5 on the clock. Pulls up on the wing. Here's Bellamy. And he lays it straight in. And the Nets lead by 15.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
McCollum, no good.
He is just not taking smart shots out there, a pattern he has fallen into tonight.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Nets.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with.
Russell against Phillips. And the rejection by Abdul-Jabbar. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. Some changes for Brooklyn. Bowl, he's checked in for Mutombo. Randolph comes in for Bellamy. And it's Clark in for Andrew Wiggins. And then for Miami, Mo Wagner comes in for Randall. And Satoransky subbed in for Havlicek.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
What an impressive performance, to say the least. At this point, it looks insurmountable.
And the basket by McCollum. There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Russell feeling it out a bit. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Bowl. And it's Miami with the rebound. Phillips with the ball. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.